We should be live. Let's see. I gotta check. We're live.
It's the
Wait,
Gamble on Ginter
or so I
podcast.
got. Hold on. Wait. Okay, yeah, we are live. We are live. We are back. It's literally us. We're back. Go, 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 go. Tell 'em, tell 'em.
It's the Gamble on Ginter podcast, and we're back, guys.
Season
It's good
dose.
to see you. Season dose. We made it.
We're here.
You let this happen another season. So, I want to get kicked off today because we want to kind of talk about, kind of people who have never listened to the show. And for those of you who are watching the show for the first time, thank you for tuning on. Hope we can put a good performance for you guys who have been here forever. What's up? It's good to see you. My name is Peter Ginter. I'm the host of the show. Right next to me is Daniel Amano, the best producer around. My co-host, he's back. We convinced him to do this again.
I don't know why I got brought back, but I did it.
No, but
This is
we'll
what
make
success
sure to
looks
utilize him as best as we can. So I guess the top story has been how we're balling.
Well, hold on. Let's take it back a little because I think if we're talking about what's the top story since we've been gone, it's been the pandemic and seeing how sports have adjusted.
So specifically this NBA bubble, right? Where all the people, everyone's confined in one space. Like teams are going home and seeing the other teams at different hotels.
Yeah. In Disney hotels.
Yeah, like that situation when Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray at the bubble where Donovan Mitchell dropped 50 the first time. He had to walk home and go see him.
Yep.
After he dropped 50 on him. Like
That
they
is still
weird.
had to show each other that respect.
Exactly. So, you see that and you see it the different ways, but man, have we been killing the bubble.
I'll say honestly, the bubble is probably the greatest thing that has happened to the game of basketball. It feels like genuine ball. It doesn't feel like anything else is like influencing the game but their love for the game.
No, for sure. And I think the extra aspect, it kind of has that AAU feel. I mean, you miss fans. Like
definitely.
I miss being able to go to those games or see those games.
The virtual fans aren't bad though. It still kind of gives it a real vibe. The sound kind of helps.
It's more basketball. It's more basketball. You can hear everything on the floor and everything that they're saying.
Yep.
It's pure basketball. So it just we've been killing it, and we're doing a lot of stuff down here as far as getting numbers up for our community. One of the things that I wanted to do when I created this is try to make it a much smarter and better place to gamble.
Yep.
And I also like to make fun of some of the aspects of gambling. So the podcast, basically, we want to have fun on this show. The podcast, if you're new to the show, we're going to be having fun. We're going to be having random conversations, but we'll be talking, sports and throwing different, games. Like we've got a special game coming up today. We're going to have the bad beat of the week. That's going to be coming up later. But there's an aspect of it where we're really putting in the work on the pick side of things. And guys, we're going for a 75% 40 game sample. Now, I got the numbers in front of me right here on the computer. It's right over here. I could send it to anyone who wants it. But we are 28-10 in our last 38 games. And that's 37 of them have been NBA bubble games. One of them has been the football game, which we won the week one opener. And the craziest part is we've just been giving them out.
Yep.
Because we want to show you guys that it ain't fake. We're putting these out there right before we're letting you know what we have. We're putting them out there. Hey, if you want to tail, great. Let me just show you what it's like if you're tailing right now, right? Let's say you had an $100 bet on every single game that we've had since we started this run. And that's back on August 8th, or August 7th, which was a loss. It started with a loss. We ended up going 28-10. So if you had $100 on all of those games, right now you'd be up $1,500. So you had a $1,500 month just by following picks with $100.
It's a nice little passive income.
Now change that to $1,000. Change that to whatever you want. But that's what we're producing over here. That's the kind of information and the kind of confidence we're going to have in all of those picks. We have our 74% in the last 38 games. We're going to go for 75.
That's why people got to jump in on this premium pick program.
Yeah, so
some of those picks we didn't really expose, but a good amount of them we did put out there.
I will tell you, some of you guys who have been here since the beginning, a lot of these, a lot of the audience are people that we know, and a lot of good people. We got you guys. But get your friends on. Make sure they join on. You know, that's the biggest thing that we ask for. Like, we just
want to win together.
We want to win together. Like, the whole reason we started this is try to make you guys more money. Now we're proven, hey, we're doing it. Those who have been following, thank you very much. And, hey, listen, if you've been tailing every single pick, I don't blame you if you've gone the other way. Like, we all think differently. So, but it's been out there. That's what I've been doing. If you tail in along with me, you can join in on the winnings.
And if you've been tailing along with us as well, we're going to be opening up like a community soon, like an online community where we're able to open up that line of communication, maybe give each other some advice. You know, some of us may be leaning one way one night and someone else may be leaning the other way. Let's talk about why. We're going to put out facts, statistics, and everything. But if you want to get a part of that, reach out to us now. Find out how you could join. It's going to be something that's up and coming now, but it's going to be huge down the line. So if you want to join in on this community and win some money with us, we're all ears. Just hit up our DMs, Instagram,
definitely.
Twitter, wherever.
DMs, I mean, we're all over Instagram and Twitter. Twitter's probably our main platform, but gambleonginter@gmail.com. That's the email. If you want to send us anything, if any kind of inquiries that you have come through, you'll get a response very quickly, and you'll be very happy with the results that come from it.
So we're on the road to 75%, right?
We're on the road
so enough
for
about
75.
us. Enough about us. How can we get to 75% right now?
So here's what we got. So we need two more picks because we're 28-10. We need to get to 30-10 to get there, right? So that means we got to win the next 2 picks, right? So you're going to get 1 pick free. Season 2, first day, you're going to get a straight up lock to end the day. Of course, we're going to celebrate with a lock.
Yep.
But also, later on tonight, Lakers, Rockets, I'll have something for you. Just keep following the account. Make sure to retweet it as soon as game tips off. You'll see. Let's follow and let's win some money together. But you know, that is just, you know, we really appreciate all the support that we can get, and we just want to make sure that you guys know that we're winning money. Come on, join us. Join us. Now let's get into the fun stuff that's going on.
Yeah, let's let them know what we've been playing.
Okay, so first things first. We got the NFL is back. Guys, this is the first feeling of normalcy. I've never been more excited for a Sunday.
It's crazy, but it's like even more wild to look at a stadium like Arrowhead and not see that many people in the stands.
But you're seeing premium football regardless.
Oh, like, no, it was great. It was a great game. It was a great game to start off the season. You had 2 highly explosive offenses between, you know, the Texans and the Chiefs, and I feel like a lot of people probably thought the Texans were going to go into this very weak, given the idea that they don't have DeAndre Hopkins no more. But honestly, you know, David Johnson stepped up. Deshaun Watson balled like he usually does. They didn't do as well as they probably could have. But, you know, you saw some nice flashes of a new offense.
There's going to be a theme that's going to be, you know, pretty prevalent at the beginning of the season. It's how these teams kind of are ready for week 1. So you're going to see a team like the Texans who had a lot of changeover. They lose DeAndre Hopkins. They add David Johnson. They're adding different pieces, and you're seeing, okay, the offense at times can struggle a little bit. You're going to see teams start out slowly without that training camp experience. You're having time together, but you're not seeing another defense, another team. So it's going to look a little bit sloppy at first.
Yeah.
Then you switch over. You look at the Chiefs, who literally are just adding a better running back than they've ever had.
Oh, my God. What's his name? Edward Hilaire.
I mean,
or whatever, however you say his
come
last
on.
name.
I've been telling y'all, he's on 3 of my 4 fantasy teams.
He balled.
You got to have the Chiefs running back, but this is the best one they've had. And that includes
he's a dream for Andy Reid.
Exactly. He does everything, and he didn't even get going in the passing game. He's a good receiver. Caught 50 balls in college for Joe Burrow. I mean, he's a real deal kind of guy over there. But so what we like to do with the NFL, and probably our most popular segment from season 1, was definitely when the XFL was going on.
R.I.P. But The Rock is saying he's trying to buy it.
Back. No, he bought it.
Oh, he did buy
happened.
it. It did happen.
The Rock saved the XFL.
Okay, I saw him tweet about it, and I was like, oh, shit, he's going to buy it.
This is definitely an NFL statement, but, God, the XFL may be back. I can't wait for that.
And it's crazy because in Ballers, like, The Rock ends up owning a NFL franchise. Like, it's almost like he's coming to life with it.
I mean, he's making everything. Anything that man wants, he's making come true.
He knows how to manifest it. It's crazy. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy, like, and it's like his real life, you know, life scenarios relates to his character in the show, Spencer Strassmore.
Yep.
Who ultimately has no fear and is just going to conquer everything he ever sought out to do, and he literally does it.
It's cool. So what we're going to have going on this is we had a segment with the XFL where Daniel would pick games, and I believe he was at 500. But the point of it was like he had no experience with any of these players. Nope. He was just kind of going from what he saw, and he was our expert.
Yep.
Well, I'm here to hype him up about the NFL as the Nostradamus of NFL picks. So you're going to hear analysis like you've never heard in your life before.
All right.
So the funny part about this especially is he doesn't know, I just told him to pick games like 2 hours before the show. So it's a little bit,
which I didn't
it's
really
a little bit
do that.
Yeah, it's going to be but that's perfect. The less you know, the better.
All right.
So
let's see what we got.
We're going to put him up against a football expert and a guest every week. Usually that guest will be here live. Unfortunately, this guest could not be here live today, but I promise you, if he wins, he's going to be back here and he's going to be talking shit. Yeah. I promise you that. So every week, the goal is we're going to bring on a guest to try and beat Daniel. So they each have 5 different games. So they have 5 separate games. They're going to have to pick on the spread the winner. If the person beats Daniel, he gets to come on again, do the same thing again, and talk shit to Daniel the entire time. Or if the solution that
well for me.
If the solution that Daniel wins, that person, we go on to a new person because Nostradamus just knocked him out with his knowledge of the betting community. So I have 5 picks, and our special guest this week is none other than our boy Chloe Rogers from the NBF podcast
too.
So he sent me some picks. Right?
So, damn you, Chloe.
So it's gonna be you versus Chloe this week. It's gonna be you versus Chloe this week, right? So he's gonna have 5 games. I'm gonna name all the 5 games that he's gonna have.
All right.
Right?
All
We're
right.
gonna go pick by pick. So I'm gonna give the first one and exactly what he has. Right?
No. Let me go first.
You want all 5, or you just want to go first? Well, it's your floor.
You're
the reigning champion.
I want to go all 5. No, yeah.
You're reigning champion. You get to choose.
All right. No, because I feel like if I hear his pick, it's gonna influence mine. And I got to do this. I got to do this.
No, but he has 5 separate games. He has 5 separate.
So it's not even these games I have here?
Yeah, so these are 5 different games we're going to talk about.
All right, go for it.
We're going to be talking about 10 games. So
I feel like you gave him easier games probably.
Oh, that's all right. You could be the judge of that. So first game that we have is the Browns-Ravens. Browns-Ravens. So that's sitting right now at 7. That's sitting right now at 7.5, right? So you're saying it's easy. Who would you pick?
The Ravens.
Okay. Yeah, Chloe has the Ravens 7.5. Now I will say this. The Browns played the Ravens decent last year. They actually dominated them one game. So that's 7.5.
Odell Beckham Jr. enjoys getting shitted on, so he's going to get shitted on this week. It's over. It's over. It's over.
That's a crazy story.
He's on the right team. He's on the Browns. He's going to take the Browns to the Super Bowl.
God, that's funny. That's so funny. That's so funny.
Take the Browns to the fucking Super Bowl.
That's funny.
It's a wrap for OBJ, man. I wish him the best, but that's foul.
Chloe's got the Ravens. All right, well, who's your first game? What do you got?
All right, so I got the Packers and the Vikings. Honestly, Dalvin Cook just got paid. I really like the Vikings, and I think the Packers are kind of on a really big struggle right now.
So you like the Vikings 2.5?
It's 2.5 points, honestly. I'm going with the Vikings, and they're at home. Yeah, that's the other thing. I'm going with the Vikings.
Oh, so he's going with a happy Dalvin Cook.
Yeah, and I'm doing that also in spite of Chloe's bitch ass because he loves the Packers. So fuck you, Chloe.
That's right. Wow.
Son of Aaron Rodgers, your dad going down, boy.
Okay. Me? I like the Packers in that game, so we'll talk later.
No, I'm going with the Vikings. Dalvin Cook just got paid, bro.
So next game that we have for him,
big money game,
is the Carolina Panthers and Teddy Bridgewater. They're going to be hosting the Las Vegas Raiders. So
I think I would go with the Panthers.
Panthers.
I feel like the Panthers are going to surprise some people.
He has some Panthers +3. I think that's a really, really good home dog this week.
I think so.
That's going to be interesting to watch the line. I believe the injury report has 30 Panthers on the list. There's one team with at least 15 players on their on their injury report. It doesn't necessarily mean anything.
I think Teddy Bridgewater has found a good spot there, especially with McCaffrey as a little bit of a safety net.
Yeah, McCaffrey's your best player, so
100%.
Everything's going to revolve around him. The difference is that defense may be one of the worst in the league without Luke Kuechly and the teams that they're going to have to play this season.
Yeah.
They
but
have to play
I would take them against the Raiders, though, because the Raiders aren't as good either. No, they're like in the same boat.
They're underrated. I feel like they're a good week 1 team. I don't necessarily like a team traveling on the road getting 3 points and not like a team that I can consider very good. But Josh Jacobs is a good running back, can control that game.
Yeah.
You know, David Carr may not be the best quarterback. He may not even be a top 20 quarterback in the league.
No, he's deteriorating quick.
But he, he's a game manager. He's going to know what to do. He's going to try not to turn the ball over, things like that. So I like the Panthers too. I think that's a good home doggy.
That's who Klo picked?
Yeah, so Klo's got the Panthers. You're going to have a tough time beating this.
This next one is Dolphins-Patriots with 7.5.
Dolphins-Patriots, 7.5.
I'm going with the Dolphins.
So you're going to take the Dolphins.
I think they're at least going to cover the spread. That's what I'm saying. I don't know if they're going to win, but I think they'll cover the spread and win the bet.
Okay, so there's some bias with the Dolphins obviously here. So I just, I'm a Dolphins fan, and I just despise the Patriots.
Usually it's the early games in the season where they do good against the Patriots.
But they don't historically do well in New England, except they won the last game in New England, and it was a big game. So it's interesting because I don't know how the Dolphins obviously have made strides, but are they, head and shoulders can compete with the Patriots this season? That will remain to be seen. But the Patriots
real question
are also missing a lot of people.
The real question is which quarterback is actually going to go off. Are we going to get some Fitzmagic up in this bitch, or are we going to have Newton show that he's still elite?
So Fitzmagic is going to start the season, and he may play until week 12.
You think we see Tua take some snaps?
I think so. I think
like
they're going to
this first game. Do you think we see him take some snaps?
Unless there's an injury.
Yeah,
unless
or we're
there's
getting
an
blown
injury.
out.
No, I don't even think in a blowout. You kind of especially now, we don't have preseason to fall back on, right?
Yeah.
We don't have that time of learning in an offense in a game scenario, right? So what are the chances, you're going to try and get, Ryan Fitzpatrick going. If he's going to be your starting quarterback for 4 or 5 weeks, whatever, if at minimum 4 or 5 weeks, probably more like 8 to 10 weeks, he'll be a starting quarterback.
Yeah.
You kind of want him to have, a feel for the offense. But the other part of it is he's a 40-year-old quarterback. He knows what he's doing. He's from Harvard.
Yeah.
Knows the playbook up and down.
I will say, if there's one thing about Ryan Fitzpatrick, although he's like a nomadic quarterback, he
is a nomad.
He knows how to learn an offense, and he adapts to it. Like that is the good thing about him.
He definitely beats to his own drum, that's for sure.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah,
he does. Right.
So the other pick I gave him was the Bengals playing the Chargers, and we have -3 towards the Chargers.
Ooh.
Chargers are on the road, so they're going actually.
The Chargers have Tyrod Taylor now as their quarterback.
They're actually
right?
going to Cincinnati.
I think Joe Burrow goes off.
You like Joe Burrow?
I like the idea of Joe Burrow, Tyler Boyd, and AJ Green. And then they got Mixon now as their running back. I think that is a solid offense.
Well, you have Chris Harris Jr. now I think Derwin James is hurt, so that is definitely concerning. But they did get some good secondary help over there. It's just Tyrod Taylor, can he run the offense anywhere near the efficiency of Phillip Rivers?
Yeah. I think Tyrod Taylor steps in, and that's a good offense for him to blend in with. If Keenan Allen could stay healthy. You got Eckert, or what's his name?
Eckler,
yeah. I know he stepped up big time last year.
They got that pass rush with Ingram and Bosa.
Yeah.
They could play some defense, too. They can get to you. And they got, again, Chris Harris Jr. is a pretty good signing.
I could see the Chargers potentially being similar to how the 49ers were almost last season.
Klo's got the Chargers on the road -3. So the home doggy there is definitely tempting with Joe Burrow's first game, but
I might go with them.
He's gonna get pressured. He's gonna get a welcome to the NFL with Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram.
I could see that.
Yeah, and we'll see about the Cincinnati offensive line. It was putrid last year.
I think we'll see exactly what Burrow's made out of. People are making him out to be what he's supposed to be, or if it was a little bit of hype.
So we have. So what is your third game?
So my third game is that's what I was trying to get back up my list. Here it is. My third game is the Seahawks and the Falcons, 2.5 points. I am actually, Yeah, I think I gotta go with the Seahawks.
You want to go Seahawks? You're gonna take.
I think we're gonna see. I think we're gonna see the true
-2.5 with them.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see the true emergence of DK Metcalf. I just think they're gonna win, right? And they're going to be the people that
I do like
DK.
DK.
They're gonna blow out the spread.
DK is a physical specimen, so you think if
they're saying he's gonna be like the new Julio, and I think this is the great game for him to show that.
Yeah, that would.
He's a big-bodied receiver. They could triple team him. He's somebody that could break out of these, these sort of situations.
DK has a long way to go to get to anywhere near the route runner Julio is, though. But
they're saying this could be a good year for him, though, because I think he could, he can end up becoming toward the #1 option if Lockett can't stay healthy, because he has those inconsistencies.
Yeah, Lockett's pretty. He is very inconsistent. You may get a 0-point week, or you may get the week that wins your fantasy league. He's very hit or miss. It's like to an extreme, too. Okay, so the fourth game that we have here is one of my favorite games on the weekend. So you have both the Sunday night game and one Monday night game. So
I gave one of my games is the Monday
one of the Monday night game, but this is like the 4:25 big game.
Yeah.
Bucks Saints. Wow. What a game.
I feel like I got to go with chemistry on this one, and I feel like this... Is it in New Orleans?
It's in New Orleans, and
I'm going with the Saints.
And it's -3.5, yeah. So Chloe's also back in the Saints, -3.5. So I definitely,
I think that's going to be the biggest game.
That's going to be the best game of the week.
Might be the highest scoring game.
That may be the best game of the week. It could be. It definitely could be.
It's a shootout right there.
I will tell you, the game you have on next is probably the other game that may score the most points, and that's Cowboys-Rams.
Yep, I was going to say the Cowboys-Rams with the +3. I mean, the Rams don't have Gurley no more. Let's see. I got to go with the Cowboys.
Who's on the Falcons, by the way?
Huh?
Who's on the Falcons, by the
way?
Yeah,
he went to the Falcons, yeah.
Seattle has Gurley and Julio.
I will say the Seahawks-Falcons game is the one game I'm a little reluctant on my choice. Like, I do feel like the Falcons...
you made it with conviction. You got it. You're Notre Dame.
No, I know. I'm sticking with my pick of the Seahawks, but I feel like that's the one game I could actually be wrong on. All right, just to be completely honest.
I think you could be wrong on all of them, to be honest with you.
So could Chloe.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, hopefully for your sake.
Yes. All right. So I got the Cowboys-Rams. I got to go with the Cowboys. I think Dak goes into this week with a chip on his shoulder after Skip's bullshit. And by the way, Skip Bayless got to go. They just got to get rid of his old delusional ass. Like that shit he said about Dak was disrespectful. I think Dak, he got a chip on his shoulder. He's going to prove why he's going to get that $40 million.
I mean, you just say things to get people to look at it, whether it's good or bad. It is what it is. That's what he does best.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't say it's like a cross, country flight to go Dallas to LA, but going to the West Coast to start the season. The Rams still have a pretty good offense. I mean, that team overall, McVay's a really good coach, but they're putting a lot of money into a lot of spots. Like, they just signed Cooper Kupp 3 years, $49 million. They just gave Jalen Ramsey the highest contract that a corner's ever had.
God, yeah, he got paid too.
They're just paying stupid money, and Goff too. Goff got a huge quarterback contract as well. Like, they're putting money in a lot of places where they haven't proven that they deserve that much money.
Well, the one place that needed money was Gurley, and they let him walk.
I mean, I feel like they're like anyone else, that they can find, value in a running back that you're not playing overpriced. However, you see Kamara getting a deal.
Yeah.
You see McCaffrey with a huge deal. Dalvin Cook got the deal that he got.
Yeah. Like, they're all getting paid.
Like, they're getting paid. It's changing. The narrative is changing as more money comes in. You can be able to keep that running back if you'd like. It's just, is it the smart thing to do?
Yeah.
And, I mean, putting that much money on Jared Goff is going to be the decision there. And I feel like Todd Gurley's carried that team through a lot of his bad stretches. So, okay, so the last game Chloe has, and it's the first of the Monday night games. So there's 2 Monday night games because it's week 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he has the Giants-Steelers game. So the Giants are at home, but I feel like for Steelers fans, even with limited seating and limited capacity, even on a road, they'll take up 70% of a stadium, even if it's the Giants stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Which has a very
70% are probably like the 30 to 40% of the people they're going to allow in there.
Yeah, so it's an interesting game. Ben Roethlisberger is back. The offense.
He says he's never felt better. That he's been playing hurt for years.
Well, he's always playing hurt. He's gonna eventually play hurt this season.
Well, no, he says he's actually 100% now, though.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he feels. So you got to see, does Juju's value come back with this and everything?
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things to go into. Is that dude Deontay Johnson, that other receiver?
James Conner is actually emerging as a solid running back.
Yeah, he's got to stay healthy. And do they have enough when he's off the field? Because they've been able to get running back production in a lot of different places for the past 10 years. They know how to run the football in Pittsburgh. And Chloe likes Pittsburgh -6.
I got to agree with him there.
Okay.
You're
not feeling good if you're agreeing with a lot of.
I'm agreeing with that one. I'm not agreeing with a lot of his picks.
Mm-hmm.
But the last one I have is the Titans Broncos.
So that's a late night game.
I'm going with the Broncos.
A 10-15 game. Now, Von Miller's out for the season. They just tried to sign Cameron Wake. Didn't work. He didn't come out, so he didn't want to sign with the Broncos. I can tell you this.
Is Tannehill still the quarterback in Tennessee?
Tannehill is still the quarterback in Tennessee. He actually is going to get paid. I think he got paid. I don't know. Honestly, I gotta look.
All right, I'm going Titans.
You like Titans?
Yeah.
Oh no, he's changing his mind.
I'm wondering
Indecision.
I'm thinking about Derrick Henry. Like, how are you going to stop this guy?
I mean,
Von Miller's your best bet at that.
He usually starts slow though. Henry is a known, and you go into Denver, which is not the easiest place to play.
The thing I like about Denver is their receiving core.
Well, yeah, but Cortland Sutton might be out too. So that's another factor to consider. Is Cortland Sutton's probably going to miss the game. So you're going to take the Titans -3.
Yeah.
I will say that 10-15 slot usually favors the West Coast team. It usually does.
It is in Denver.
I remember that there was a really, really good Saints team played opening night against a really bad Niners team when they had Carlos Hyde and thought he was going to be the next great thing.
Yeah.
And the Niners just dominated that game. Dominated them. And so I tend to say West Coast games that late at night, I tend to lean West Coast teams. It's just a trend that happens.
So I know Denver is very mountainous. It's up in the air. It has the mile-high situation going on.
Thanks for your analysis of Greater Denver. We really appreciate
Tennessee,
that.
Smoky Mountains, they kind of got a similar scenario.
Oh, wow.
I think it won't be too much of a transition other than time, which I'm sure they've already been there for a couple of days now and have gotten adjusted to the situation. So I'm still going to stick with the Titans.
But that's an exciting week 1 of NFL action. It's back. We couldn't be happier.
Football's fucking back.
Yeah. No. So let's get into the specialty right now. The because it's looking like, so we have the Eastern Conference Finals set.
Yep.
Heat, Celtics, a rivalry.
Heat in 6.
A good rivalry.
Heat in 6.
Okay. Thank you for your opinion.
Heat in 6.
But it's looking like we're also going to have LA versus LA in the second round.
I'll tell you one thing. The winning team of that one will be from LA.
That's really good analysis. Now Denver's, kind of had a really good game the other day. They can play defense with almost anyone, but it's looking likely that it's gonna be Lakers Clippers, which I think everyone wants.
Yeah, I feel like that's the one prediction that everybody made at the beginning of the season. That's correct.
But the one crazy thing about specifically LeBron James this year, right? Because you're seeing that one of the Heat or the Celtics are gonna come out of the East, and for years it's just been whoever's team that LeBron is playing on. And all these years, like, you're just saying to LeBron, if he was in the West, it would be so much harder. And yeah, it's right. But one of the best teams in the West for the past 5 years has been the Rockets.
Yeah.
And they're about to take them out in 5.
Yep.
And it's not like the Lakers are playing that well. Listen, the way that the Rockets play basketball, a guy like Anthony Davis should be able to expose that every time. There is no one humanly possible that can guard him. And then the second tallest player on the floor at all times could be LeBron, who can run with anyone on your roster. Now it's just, are you taking, you can't cover Anthony Davis. Like, that's got to be, but for some reason, the Rockets are really good against them. And they play a team like OKC, who's much better defensively, like with a guy who specifically can guard James Harden, I would say, in Dort. That they seem more open because not a lot of people can cover James Harden on that team.
I really thought OKC was going to take it at a point.
I mean, at the end of the day, the better team won. The Rockets are better.
The Rockets are better, but I think that series really exposed their true weak points.
But the Rockets, we've known the weak points. It's do the shots go in? You could shoot a high volume of shots. If they're going in 25% of the time, 30% of the time, if you're 1 from 18 for 3, you are not helping yourself.
I think you and I were watching one of the first games together when it was like that. He was like shooting well normally from the regular field, but from like 3, he was like 2 for like 14 or something like that.
And they'll just continue to do it. I think that's what did in the Raptors last night. Is they went to a lot of isolation balls.
That's the D'Antoni disease. Live and die by the 3, shoot. Only rely on your star players. If the star players flooded, pass it out.
I will say this: unlike any really other Houston team with the smaller group, they were a lot better defensively, statistically, than they've ever been in years past. So there is a little bit of that's growing on the defensive end. But the offensive philosophy, yes, at times it can literally shoot you out of a game.
Well, why do you think D'Antoni's always been stuck in the 2nd and 3rd round for year after year after year after year?
I mean, he's innovative, but it's the style of ball that they need to incorporate. There's other aspects of the game that they need to, you have to consider.
They got to play team ball. That's what they got to do.
That's
what I'm saying. D'Antoni is too much. Rely on the stars. If the stars are flooded, pass it out to the 3. That's all he does.
It's gotten them this far. With the
it
talent
hasn't
that
gotten
they
them
have.
far enough.
And then I'm curious what kind of system would allow someone like James Harden in this system to flourish like that. I don't think any other system.
I think it would be smart if they played something similar to like the triangle offense. I think that would be good for someone like them because he does somewhat have a similar form of play to like how Jordan would play because he could take over and command a game.
It doesn't have to be too crazy because every team pretty much runs some variation of a high pick and roll. I mean, that's pretty much all offense is at the NBA level now. It's high pick and roll with a guy that you can really use as a role man who's very versatile, like LeBron, like Jokic, guys who could pass out of that and find guys in the corner where someone's just all they're doing is just sprinting.
Yeah.
In a different direction. It's kind of triangle-ish, but
I'm talking about the true formation. I think that would be good of them because you need it to be a science between the whole team, but where it would still have, a head point of the triangle. And Harden could be that person, but I think it's good that you have someone like a Westbrook there to also alternate out.
Part of my analysis is definitely not triangle offense talk. I've definitely talked more specific offense than I have in basketball in about 9 years. For sure.
Either way, Houston's done.
But I mean, this Heat Celtics series, I mean, we got a real dogfight on it.
What do you think is the real chance of the Heat actually going to the championship?
They just like in the last series with Antetokounmpo, they have a lot of guys that they can throw on Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
Now, parts of Giannis's game are a lot of it is at the rim, right? If you put him outside and you make him shoot threes, he's vulnerable. You can't have the same game plan for either Jaylen Brown or Jason Tatum, who are really good 3-point shooters.
Yeah.
Like you're not going to tell me with Giannis, if he's shooting a 3, you're like, thank God. If it's Jason Tatum, there's a lot of ways he can beat you. If he's shooting a 3, that's one of the ways he can really kill you. He's made big shots. And it's a good question. Who's the best player in this series, Jason Tatum or Jimmy Butler?
Honestly, it's got to be Jimmy though.
If it's not Jimmy now, then how long until it's if it's not Jason now, then how long until it's Jason?
I think if you give Jason like 2 or 3 more years, he's gonna be like he's gonna have like I feel a similar path to like how Jimmy Butler 21? Found stardom. Is he 20? Has he been 21 yet? I think he is.
He's 21, 22.
That's the thing about the Celtics. They got all these young guys. A lot of them are still developing and maturing.
Young too, and with a guy like Kemba Walker, who historically has been really good against the Heat.
Yeah. And that's also the leader of their locker room, basically.
It's not the best matchup for the Heat, just from a pure basketball sense. I'm not going to bet the series at all because I'm a Heat fan and I don't want to chance that.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just going to follow the Heat here.
You're not compromising your loyalty.
But at the same time, I thought about sometimes, what will happen is it'll get right before the game and I'll just be like, screw it, Heat money line. Let's go.
I definitely think the Heat could win in 6. In all honesty, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think Jimmy Butler is going to be the best player in the series. You know who I think will be? I think Tyler Hero could step up and truly be the best player in this entire series.
I'm gonna follow up that with Bam Adebayo. I think he could be the best
player. Bam is the X factor.
I feel like for the Heat, if they where they have a distinct advantage, it's going to be interior defense and Bam down low.
Yeah.
They don't have anyone that could check him.
Unless they're going to put in Taco, which they're not going to put in Taco for no more than 10 minutes.
Taco can't check him either.
No, he can't.
So
it's their only hope at it,
otherwise, he would play. Otherwise, Taco would play if he could check anyone.
No.
So
not happening.
With Bam in that series, like, there were some impressive performances by Williams and Daniel Tice. I think they're a little bit better than people think, but you were taking Bam Adebayo in that case. And Jason Tatum's too small. He's not going to be falling on that unless it's a switch. It's an advantage, and it's a matchup you like with Bam. So I would expect him to be a little bit more involved offensively in this series than, let's say, he was in the last series, where his main impact was getting in front of Giannis and making sure he didn't get to the bucket.
Yeah.
How he played defensively in that series was otherworldly.
Yeah.
It was the best. Him and Jimmy Butler put on some of the best defensive basketball I've ever seen.
Yeah.
The thing about Jimmy Butler, and this is the crazy part, is he gets 2 picks a game. Just like an NFL safety or an NFL quarterback.
Yeah.
Where you're throwing that screen pass and you just jump it. You just jump it, take it, and run to the house. That's what he does twice a game. I've never seen someone's instincts on an open ball like that, where it's just twice a game you're getting free buckets at the other end. Jimmy is a special defensive player, and so is Bam. And that's going to be the big difference, is can they overcome the great all-around offense of the Celtics, who also have people that they can put on those best players other than Bam, where Bam's probably going to have to be more offensively. I'm worried about Duncan Robinson in this series. I think there's a lot of people that they can put on him to make it hard for him. He's a great shooter. So, and then Hero.
We even got in the chat, look, got to get Duncan involved without forcing it. That falls on Bam, showing he can attack the rack.
Bam's a great passer out of it too. So Bam is going to be a key.
He really showed all signs of, like, in the last series
he's got all game. Like he's a fully developed, like, his game is fully developed in all 5 phases of basketball that you need.
Yeah.
Interior defense, perimeter defense, offensive weapons.
Like, it's crazy because you could put him in the category of, like, someone like
Rebounding.
a Rajon Rondo almost, like, not even in the sense like a point guard, but in the sense that, like, he's able to fill all the stat sheet areas.
He does those little things, but it's not so much what he does in the stat sheet. It's all the different how he's able to rotate on any point guard in the league.
He also knows how to move,
and you're feeling comfortable with that matchup. Like maybe I don't know. He's gonna get crossed up by Kyrie Irving once every 5 times that he comes down the court.
Yeah, but those other 4 times, 2 out of those 4 times he's gonna block.
That's a special kind of offense. Yeah, if he can get there. Even though
I really like him. I really like Bam. I think Bam is truly a gem. Pat Riley killed it.
So I'm not going against the Heat. I'm not picking against the Heat. I can't humanly do that. It just won't. So Heat in 6.
Yeah,
Heat in 6. Heat in 6. And I really don't care about.
But
Boston
I'm telling you, watch out for Tyler Hero, because the last series on Game 4, when they could have swept them, they should have gave the ball to Tyler at the end of those games. I know they couldn't on that final play in regulation, but Tyler Hero, like, he had this look in his eye.
I'm looking forward to the Tyler Hero Marcus Smart matchup.
Oh, that's gonna be great.
I am.
Those are 2 big personalities.
Because Hero's a dog. I really love the way he plays. I love the way he plays basketball on the offensive end. There was no fear. Even in that game they lost, he was hitting clutch 3 after clutch 3. Even though the game was out of hand, he's still playing.
That's what I love about him.
And he's 19, 20. And he's
perfect for this Miami offense.
He's in the best system right now to help him flourish. Now, will he be in Washington or somewhere else in a year as a sign and trade because they want to build a super team? We'll see.
I don't think he will.
We'll see.
I think he makes his mark. He's gonna stay.
There's a lot. I mean, there's a lot of places that would want someone like that to get one of the best players in the NBA. Like, just hypothetically, if you could trade Tyler Hero to get a player like Jason Tatum, you do it.
But I don't think we're going to trade for Jason Tatum. If you're telling me this is for Giannis.
I'm just saying that in the sense of Tyler, because it's easy to see right now that he's an ascending player.
Yeah.
He's going to be very good when he's 24, 25. He's already a really good player. Where does he rank against all the different players in the league? If you're getting X guy for him, do you feel worse about giving up him?
It depends.
So Bradley Beal. I'll give you Bradley Beal. Bradley Beal's a good one. Are you giving it Bradley Beal even if it's Bradley Beal?
I don't know. I'd rather keep him.
Bradley Beal's still young.
I know Bradley Beal's still young, but it depends. Is it just straight up? You're saying it's just straight up?
Who gives you a better chance to win a championship for the next 5 years?
If it's a straight up trade, I'm going with what's happening now, right? But it's obviously not going to be a straight up trade, and I'd rather keep the draft picks because I'm sure that's ultimately what Washington would want to go along with Tyler Hero.
But we got the key pieces that you want drafted with Bam. Bam is your guy if you want. Now, you're taking Giannis and giving up Bam? Are you feeling okay?
No, I like what Bam is doing. There's certain things you got to fill into the offense. I feel like right now Bam is a little bit more necessary than us having Giannis.
I'm taking Giannis over Bam.
I don't know. I like those are the situations I don't like in basketball.
I'm taking Giannis over Bam just because you could teach everything that Bam's doing to Giannis and he'll be better at it.
I don't know. We gotta see. We gotta see. Like it's hard for me to. Bam has put in such crazy work. Like it's hard to replace that, and it's not even knocking off what Giannis can or can't do. It's like just trying to say that like what Bam does, Giannis can't do, and what Giannis does, Bam can't do. You know, it's like almost like you win in both scenarios regardless. Mm-hmm. And I just think Bam already fits into what we have. If we add on Giannis and it doesn't require us getting rid of Bam, that's one thing. But I don't know. That's like I said, it depends on the scenario. It depends on the circumstances.
Excellent. So far we got the NBA playoffs down. We got your matchup with Chloe this week down. I cannot wait for the end of that. Keep following us to see if you can watch it over and see the results.
You got to watch out for that pick later.
Yeah, for
We're
sure.
Putting out that free pick later.
Well, here's something that I want to definitely introduce, and we're going to be doing this every week. We're going to try to. If you'd like to be a part of this segment, please send any pictures of your bad beats to Gamble on Ginter, and we'll take a look at it, and we'll read off the best one that we have during the week. And some of them may be mine. I may have a crazy beat that happens during the week, and it'll be me. This week, one of a friend of the show and one of the artists that's played on our show, Big Wig, Brandon Budwig, he sent me a beat that was pretty terrible. So I'm going to explain this situation, this situation by putting you exactly where he was at this particular point in time. So it was a 14 parlay. $30 to win about $360. So, you're not putting much down, but on the end of it, you could have $360.
Yeah.
So it's a 14 parlay. So you had the Lakers 5.5. They won by 10. So you got to win there. You have the Miami Hurricanes minus 15.5. I believe he barely got that, but that's a win. He has the Chiefs minus 9, which for most of the games seemed like that, that's going to hit. Now, the last thing he has is the Chiefs-Texans under 53. Now, me and my buddy, because we're great friends and we talk about this stuff, he's actually someone that I use, sometimes for some of his advice when it comes to bets. He's very knowledgeable, especially NFL, anything NFL. He knows his stuff. And we both were like, yeah, we really like this under. It's really high. I got it at 54.5. He waited a little bit, got it at 53. So the score is about 51 points with about a minute 30 left to go in the game. And the Texans are doing an onside kick because they're desperate at this point in time. The onside kick is then received by the Chiefs, but he catches it on the run. So he runs all the way down to the 15-yard line, putting them in field goal position. They get 3 tries at the 1. I believe the Texans had 2 timeouts. So they used all their timeouts. And so because of that, they weren't able to run out the clock. So they kicked the field goal to make it 54. And so he lost on that play.
By 1
point. Field goal with 30 seconds left.
And who won, Pete?
So I had it at 54.5. It ended up at 54. I was very happy. But
by the skin of your teeth.
But I had definitely I wasn't about to make, $360 $360 on a small $30 bet. So
You still won though, right?
That's I won,
which has led us to 74%.
The point is
on the road to 75%.
The point is it's a terrible beat. So hopefully we're not jinxing it for tonight, but we're pretty confident.
Knock on wood.
So we got thank you again to Brandon Budwig for allowing me to share that on the air today. And we've come to the point of the show where it's time to give out just our lock for the weekend.
All right.
So, again, a lot of, most of the time, it may not be on the podcast always. We'll always try to throw in maybe one or two every once in a while, just to keep you but
this is why you got to follow us.
Historically, my picks on the show do really, really well. Right, we can run back the numbers from last year. I know we don't have them. We don't have the technology that we have for season 2 because we're a year older and a year wiser.
Yes, we are.
But we do have locks. And I'm looking around the NFL tomorrow, and I see one game that it doesn't make sense. I just feel like it's really, really low on this team, and it was one of the picks that I handed out to Chloe to figure out, and I think it's an absolute lock. Saints -3.5. It's a lock. Now, I will take you back to 2018. Ryan Fitzpatrick was the quarterback of these Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and they were going in for Week 1 against Drew Brees and the Saints. This is, I believe, the year after the Saints were the 1 seed. And Fitzpatrick threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. And the Buccaneers beat the Saints at home during the best 2 weeks of any quarterback's career. I'm talking, of course, of Ryan Fitzpatrick's Week 1 and Week 2.
Fitzmagic.
The birth of Fitzmagic.
Do the same, but in New England.
So Brady is in a new situation. Biggest deal was Tom Brady to the Buccaneers. It made Tampa Bay relevant, which they were not until they got Tom Brady.
And then they
got a lot of great pieces. It was a good offense set up. And you don't have Mike Evans for the first game. Now, I think Mike Evans actually takes a little bit of a step back this year because I feel like he can be a very good red zone target, but so can Gronkowski. So can a lot of people, and Chris Godwin's going to get fed. Godwin, and
on fantasy this year, they had Godwin ranked above Evans.
And I'll tell you right now, don't sleep on Scotty Miller either. I'm just letting you know, don't sleep on Scotty Miller either. Team.
Brady always makes a star out of the third.
Brady will, he's more of a check down quarterback in his age 43 season. You saw him get exposed in some of those games late with the Dolphins game and the Titans game.
Yeah.
There is some things that he's not on. Now, he's he's rested. He's ready to go. He's going to be in the best shape he is all season, Week 1, going into that game. It's a new offense, new pieces to get together. New Orleans is a tough place to play, even with, I think it may be worse with less people in there in a dome setting like that. Despite the home field advantage, what it usually would be, the Saints are really, really good at home. They put up a lot of points. They could score 40 themselves.
And Michael Thomas is disgusting. Kamara's getting paid.
And I see some weakness in the secondary for Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Their biggest and that is the part where if you have a surgeon like Drew Brees with the football, he will pick you apart.
Yeah, and now he has Emmanuel Sanders,
It's going to be an incredibly high-scoring game, and I think I'm pretty confident that you're going to see a burger from Drew Brees against that defense. It's a good defense pass rushing-wise, but they got to get there. They have to get there, and New Orleans is great at getting the ball out quick. Drew Brees is great at making the right decisions. Michael Thomas is great at getting open always. He's always open. He is always open. There is not a single time where he is not open.
Guy's disgusting. I'm glad I got him on my fantasy team.
He's such a weird personality off the field, but God, is he so good at wide receiver. Him and Antonio Brown, I don't understand how good they are at wide receiver and then how they can be just crazy off the field.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say Michael Thomas is
he's not Antonio. Well, he's still got time.
He's not Antonio
Has he got paid
Brown,
yet?
Who, Michael Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm sure he's about to.
Okay.
Don't worry.
We'll see what a wide receiver does when he gets a little money.
All right. Oh, my God.
He's going to get paid. He's going to get paid. Set for life.
So that's your lock pick, though? Saints?
I like the Saints 3.5 against
Okay.
Tampa Bay traveling to New Orleans. I think it's a tough matchup for Brady's first game. I think Tampa Bay's going to be really good this year. Really good. I'm talking 10, 11 wins good. Like, you can't sleep on them. Their division's good. That's a tough matchup at New Orleans. I like the Saints 3.5. That's my lock of the week. Go home to the bank with that. That's going to be win number 30, by the way. That's going to be win number 30.
Is that going to
Because we got win 29. That's going to be coming out tonight. Tonight,
yes.
guys. Follow our.
What time is game time?
So, I don't know.
I want to say what?
I don't know.
Let's see.
I don't know. Is it a 9 o'clock game?
Hey Siri, what time is the NBA playoffs tonight?
Probably should
This is how we find out. Yeah, we should have known this.
We should know that.
Oh, nope, Siri doesn't know. Let's see. I feel like it's at 9.
Make this perfect end to a show. We're
right?
Gonna have to look up all this stuff. I'm not even connected to your internet. I don't know why.
Yeah, so you got the Rockets Lakers at 8.
Thank you, sir. All right, it's a little earlier. I got to work in the morning, so I don't.
So
like
at
that.
least it's at 8. So we'll have that up for you by 7 p.m.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
you can lock that in, win this money with us. Don't sleep. We got a
So,
premium
yeah,
pick program and everything.
So when you guys, make sure you email out to us, DM us if you got, if you're interested in what we're doing, if you're interested in joining our community. We got a lot of people.
Tell them one more time the win record, how much they could have won with us last month.
You could have won about if you had $100 on every game, you could have won
$1,500.
$1,500.
$1,500.
Just a small $1,500. I'm sure that would have helped you out, and that's just $100. That's the investment. That's how much you got to put into it.
Could have bought your girl some Cartier.
Mm.
Could have taken her out for
Sad.
a nice steak dinner.
Sad.
Could have put a down payment on a little beater car for yourself.
Yeah.
Some nice money right there.
Anyways, our thanks to Daniel Amano for doing what he does. Our thanks to Chloe Rogers and his picks. Hopefully he'll be back.
No, he's going to lose.
No, he's going to lose. And
Nostradamus.
And I'm Peter. Thank you guys for listening.
Take care, folks.